and they're singing 3 songs. The choir director told me he said to me, have you ever seen like a stereotypical African American choir in the movies? And he said, that's us. We dance, we sing, we clap, we jump. So it should be really cool. They're doing 3 songs, and the rest will be done by Elliot Levine. It should be really good and really nice. And as I've been saying all along, they're bringing 50 people. So it would be nice if there were 50 of us to meet with them. So enough of that. I'm gonna give me just a second. I want you to help me do the nigun, and I'm not going to play the guitar for it because I want to hear you. What was I reading this week? Maybe it was in conversation with the choir guy. But anyway, a nigun, this idea of doing a nigun, which is relatively new in Reform circles, I would say it's about 6 months old. This idea of starting a service with a nigun is relatively new, like in the last generation. And the idea is supposed to give you the opportunity to sing without having to know the words and get kind of settled in and be meditative. But now I got to get the melody into my head. So smoke them if you got them. I'll be right with you. Kiva moen, lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, lai, lai. Yai, lai, lai, lai. Yai, lai, lai, lai. Yai, lai, lai, yai, lai, lai. Yai, lai, lai, lai. Yai, lai, lai, lai. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, lai. Yai, lai, 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 la 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 la, ya 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 la 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 la. Now listen for my Dave Van Ronk imitation. Ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la, ya la la la. Ya la la la, ya la la la, here it comes, la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, wa la 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 la. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Of course, everybody knows Dave Van Ronk, right? Yedid Nefesh, page 128. Well, let's do Shabbat Shalom first, but you can turn the book open. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Bim bam, bim 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 bam. Bim, 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 bam, 2, 3, 4. You got bam, bim, 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 bam, bim, 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 bam. Yedid Nefesh. Yedid Nefesh av harachaman. Yedid Nefesh av harachaman, v'shochav yecha, eretz shonecha, v'shochav yecha, la 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 la, eretz shonecha. עבדך ירוץ עבדך כמו היה אשתחווה לילה אל מול הדרך. And you see we got a full contingent of musicians tonight. Rescue me.
That's actually the name of the next song. I thought he was lamenting our presence tonight. And I think the double entendre was intentional. So this song was written actually by Karen Kedar and Beth Schaefer, contemporary Jewish composer who you've heard us do one of her songs before. In This House, you've heard that one. This is another one of hers. And this song this is 1 week old. She released her own video of it on YouTube just this week, and it was written for, it's a lament for the those taken captive by Hamas, and that's why it's called Rescue Me. And so the Hebrew parts are from both the Amidah and one of the Psalms, Psalms 142:6, and this is how it goes. Somech noflim, lift me and carry me. Matir asurim, release me, redeem me. Za'akti elecha Adonai, hatzileni merodvai. I cry from the depths, rescue me. Somech noflim, lift me and carry me. Matir asurim, release me, redeem me. Za'akti elecha Adonai, hatzileni merodvai. I cry from the depths, rescue me. Give strength, give power to those who reach for me. Reach for me, reach for me. I call from my darkness, give me courage, grant me strength. I reach for you, I reach for you. Za'akti elecha Adonai, hatzileni merodvai. I cry from the depths, rescue me.
And just to remind you, in a highly symbolic manner, we set those 2 seats up there on the bima with 2 tali tot as a way of remembering that there are 240 Israelis, not all Israelis, a lot of them hold foreign passports, who are being held captive in mysterious and dark places in the Gaza Strip. Next week, I'll be handing out, all around the country, people are wearing blue ribbons, and I'll bring those in next week for those who want to wear one, until such time as these captives are released. So that was a beautiful song. I have to say, there's of course a famous Motown song called Rescue Me. I thought that's what you were singing, but that's very beautiful. And it's really brand new. It's really brand new. Well, we continue on page 120 with lighting the candles. Christina, please join us up here.
Oh, source of light.
Yeah, actually, wait a second. Hold on. Second.
Alrighty.
There you go. Into the mic, please.
Okay. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter the sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshonu b'mitzvotov, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Thank you. Page 138, Lecha Dodi.
Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela la la. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad, ishmi'anu el havei echad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, v'shem u'tiferet li'hila la la lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mekor haberacha, merosh nikelem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila la 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 la. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Mikdash melech ir melucha, kum yitzei mitokha hafecha, rav lech shevet be'emek habacha, vehu yakol alaychem la 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 la. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Please rise and face the Sabbath bride as she enters the congregation. Boi v'shalom ateret ba'ala, gam b'simecha u'v'tzola, toch emunei am segula. Boi chala, boi chala. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela la la. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela.
141 together. Adonai is sovereign. God is robed in grandeur. Adonai is robed. God is girded with strength. The world stands firm. It cannot be shaken. Your throne stands firm from old. From eternity you have. The ocean sounds, Adonai. The ocean sounds its thunder. The ocean sounds its pounding. Above the thunder of the mighty waters, more majestic than the breakers of the sea is Adonai, majestic on high. Your decrees are indeed enduring. Holiness befits your house, Adonai, for all times. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShoret. Just turn the page.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShoret. Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShoret. Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShoret. Shalom Aleichem Shalom Malachei Elyon Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Boachem Shalom Aleichem Shalom Malachei Elyon Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Boachem Shalom Malachei Shalom Shalom Aleichem Shalom Malachei Elyon Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Baruch Hu Nil Shalom Aleichem Shalom Malachei Elyon Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Baruch Hu Nil Shalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Shalom Aleichem Shalom Malachei Elyon Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Tzedchem LaShalom Aleichem Shalom Malachei Elyon Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Tzedchem LaShalom Malachei Shalom Malachei
I got to catch my breath. Page 145. Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent happens all the time, even at unlikely times and through unlikely places. There is no place on earth without God's presence. Chatzi Kaddish, page 144.
Yitgadal v'yitkadosh shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ve'alma livrach yiruteh ve'yamlich malchuteh v'chayechon u'v'yomechon uv'chayei kol beit Yisrael ba'gala ba'gala uv'izman kariv v'imeru.
Amen.
Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach ve'alam olal me'al ma'ya yitbarach Yitbarach v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitramah v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yithale v'yithalal shemei dekudesha לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו.
Amen. We praise the eternal God to whom our praise is due. We praise the eternal God to whom our praise is due now and forever. Please rise, page 146.
Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed Le'olam, 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 Le'olam va'ed. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la.
Please be seated. So, the next two prayers that follow from the Baruch Hu, the one that ends Ma'ariv, Aravim, and the other one ends Ohev, Amo Yisrael, they're kind of partners, but this one, the one that ends Ma'ariv, Aravim, is a statement of that, it's a statement of the belief in the God of physics, the God that sets the whole universe into being, and everything works like clockwork because that's God's concept. God preceded Einstein by several billion years in understanding the nature of the universe. And so when you go, God rolls the light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. It's saying that in some way or other, and of course the Bema service, for service on the Bema Friday night, it's not the time to discuss this. In some ways, it's saying some way or another, God set all this stuff into motion, and because of God's genius, that accounts for the universe that we have. El Chai v'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Leolam Va'ed Baruch Atah Adonai Ha'Ma'ariv Ha'aravim. And before we begin this, the partner is that's the grand vision of God. The second part, Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael, with a great love, you love the house of Israel, brings that majesty down to us. We share in God's majesty in the aspect of God's loving the world, God's loving the people on the earth, on the world, and God's having a loving relationship with us, with usins. Ahavat Olam, page 150.
Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amecha ahavta Amcha ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Hukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta, Otanu limadeta. Al Kain Adonai Eloheinu b'shokvenu u'kumenu nasiach bechukecha v'nismak b'divrei toratecha u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu Uvahem nege yomam v'layla, nege yomam v'layla. Ve'ahavatcha al tasir, mimenu le'olamim. Baruch ata Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Ohev amo Yisrael.
And God, loving Israel, leads into us telling ourselves that we need to love God. Hear, O Israel, the eternal, our God, the eternal is one. Please turn the page and please rise.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Please be seated, except for Carol Lee. Please come forward.
Okay, everybody, chant with me the V'ahavta. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meotecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha Ukshartam le'od ayadecha v'chayu letotafot beinenecha Uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha Laman tiskaru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kadoshim le'Elohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem. Good job.
And I always have to raise the mic. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or arrested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gates. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God. Adonai Elohechem Emet. Page, we're going to go right to Mi Chamocha. I see we've got a nice modern introduction. Page 158.
Been waiting in the velvet sea, whoa. I've 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 been waiting in the Mi Chamocha. Ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha, nehedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot, osef ele, nora tehilot, osef ele. I've been waiting in the velvet sea, whoa. 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 I've been waiting in the Mi Chamocha. Ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha, nehedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot, osef ele, nora tehilot, osef ele. I've been waiting in the velvet sea, whoa. 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 I've been waiting in the sea.
To be a Jew is to be part of the most remarkable story ever lived by any people, covering more countries, more adverse circumstances, more triumph, more tragedies than any other story. Every one of us has a chapter to write in that story and hand the book on. That is what it is to be a Jew. V'shamaru v'nei Yisrael, page 162.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לתורתם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. בני ובין בני ישראל עוד היא לעולם, עוד היא לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city, but prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, and rebuild a weakened will. Adonai Sifatai Tiftach, Ufi Agi Tehilatecha, page 164. Would you all please rise?
Adonai Sifatai, Sifatai Tiftach, Ufi Agid Tehilatecha. Adonai Sifatai, Sifatai Tiftach, Ufi Agid Tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לפני בניהם למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומדומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לך חיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. God of goodness, we give thanks to you for the gift of our lives, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of our souls, the light within us, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of earth which day by day sustains us. For all these things and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha somehow I can't read Hebrew tonight. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulechana elehodot. Dare I walk among you and see if any of you has anything for which you are particularly grateful this evening? I walk down the aisle. I am particularly grateful for the members of my spiritual autobiography class. It's the fourth time I've taught this class, and this particular cohort that's elected to gather every to fulfill this curriculum created is the best I've ever had. Very thoughtful, very sensitive people who really share interesting things about their lives. Can you top that?
No. I'm still grateful that I'm going to see my son and daughter-in-law over Thanksgiving because I haven't seen them in a long time.
Anybody else? Remember, I've got an arthritic right knee, and if I'm going to walk around here, you got to help me make it reason. And we just found out today for sure that our daughter Talia, who's been around in Israel for a few weeks, is staying through Thanksgiving and will join us in Indiana.
I'm grateful that one of my best friends from college is coming out from New York for Thanksgiving, and I get to see her.
Anyone else?
I just wanted to say that I'm very grateful. I found out that our daughter Talia, who lives in Israel but's been in the States, is going to extend her stay here through Thanksgiving. So we are very happy to have her as long as we possibly can.
Other voices to be heard? Well, okay, since you're all seated. Oh, where? Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, good. Well, take the mic.
Yeah, thank you.
Especially because you got a mask on. Give them that.
Oh, I can take that off. Yeah, I was very moved by a WhatsApp that I got today from my grandson, Josh, where he's going to be davening this Shabbos in memory of his father, my son, and his yahrzeit is this coming week. And it was just beautiful, and he wished me and the whole family a good Shabbos, and so far they are safe and praying that things will work out in Israel.
I'm grateful to be alive because every part of me is falling apart.
Well, I'm grateful that you're alive too. And the falling apartness isn't visible to the naked eye, so it's nice to see you. And so while everybody's seated, I think this is the time I'm going to invite Le'el ben Avraham V'Sarah to come up and join us. You know what Le'el means, of course. What's that? Le'el means of God or to God. He joined us like a month ago, 3 weeks ago? Yeah. Morris, can you help me open the ark? Yes. We'll give you the middle one. Give me just a second.
They all need to rise up.
The more I think about this process of electing to join the Jewish people, the more impressed I am by those who choose to do so, on the one hand. And on the other hand, we all recognize, even in this age of universalisms and where the differences between us and our Gentile neighbors don't seem as strong as they once did, and I'm not unhappy about that. Nonetheless, there are those differences. And those people who see the differences and want to participate in them, I am really pleased to have them among us, pleased to have Le'el ben Avraham v'Sarah in our congregation, and I want to wish you, thank you. I want to thank you. I wish you Mazal Tov. Zeh hayom asa Adonai. Let me put my hand on your shoulder, please. Zeh hayom asa Adonai nagila v'nismecha bo. This is a day, a month that has been made for you by the eternal God. Let us all rejoice and be happy in it. 1, 2, 3. Siman
Tovu, Mazel Tovu, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tovu, Mazel Tovu, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tovu, Mazel Tovu, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov. Yehelanu, 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 Olecha Yisrael, Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Olecha Yisrael, Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulecho Yisrael, Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulecho Yisrael. Siman Tovu, Mazel Tovu, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tovu, Mazel Tovu, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tovu, Mazel Tovu, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Yehelanu.
It's been a long time since I've had somebody on the bima singing that. Actually, I'm singing with him, and he does it much better than I do. So thank you very much, Morris. Let's put the Torah back in the ark. Have a seat. Hey. Shalom Rav, page 178. As soon as everybody gets back to their places. And while we're doing that, I've neglected our friends on the Zoom screen, of which there are many this evening, so you're all welcome. Those of you who are revealed to us and those of you who are concealed, there's something Kabbalistic about that. Welcome to our service this evening. Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha
תשים לעולם, וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם, שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם, תשים לעולם, תשים לעולם.
And if we pause, take a couple of breaths, 2, 3, or 4 breaths. We'll conclude the Amidah in a moment. Go ahead.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, שלום עלינו, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. Long week.
I didn't know that was for hanging your thing on. Sorry.
It's also used to adjust the tension out here, but it's got
Tambourine holder, very good, very nice, very nice. I didn't know they came with tambourine holders. But we'll pause and do two things as I've been doing these last few weeks. First, to bring to mind those 240 captives being held in various hidden places on the Gaza Strip. I'll read some of the names as I do every week. Aiden Yerushalmi, Eliah Cohen, Nimrod Cohen, Segev Ben Galit, Ravid Katz, Or Levi, Naamah Bat Ayelet, Shani Luke, Oded Lifshitz, Margalit Moses, Avraham Ben Liat, Ruti Mandar, Karen Bat Ruti, Avera Ben Agranash. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham and Sarah, Isaac and Rivka, Yaakov, Leah, and Rachel, may this God bless the captured and the many kidnapped citizens, men, women, young children, and old, held in painful captivity in the Gaza Strip. May it be your will, Adonai Tzevaot, God of hosts, to rescue and redeem these souls and return them swiftly to their families on the land of Israel. As it is written, thus said God, a cry is heard in Ramah, wailing, bitter weeping, Rachel weeping for her children. She refuses to be comforted for her children who are gone. Thus said God, restrain your voice from weeping, your eyes from shedding tears, for there is a reward for your labors, declares God. They shall return from the enemy's hand. From the book of Jeremiah. And we turn our attention to those in our community who are in need of healing. We bring to mind Gloria Mangus, Pamela Mangus, Judy Richmond, Glickle Sarah Bat Devora, Milka Gittel, Vicky Dix, Colton Wayne Whitaker, John Cruz, Dan Strauss, Darlene DeMason, Linda Stroman, Charlene Beck, Eddie Archibek, Dan Hantman, Tom Stagg, Kerry Bardeen, Kenny Hayes, David Barlett, Brian Kinman, Robin Mendez, Dorothy Odson, David Coopersmith, Don Oppenheim, Tim Hayes, Judy Cronenfeld, Max Krohn, Jory Yarmoff, Lynn Yarmoff, Rabbi Philip Posner, Andrew Finko, Soon Finko. Oh, Lynn Yarmoff is on the list. She's on the list twice. Well, I said it once. To my left, any other names? To my right? And if anybody on the Zoom screen would care to unmute and mention a name, feel free. We continue with the Misha Berach on the inside front cover of our prayer books.
El na rafana lanu. El na rafana lanu. Repeat after me. Dear God of our ancestors, dear God of our ancestors, help us renew our faith, help us renew our faith. Grant us a perfect healing, grant us a perfect healing. Bring peace to all our days, bring peace to all our... El Narifana Lanu. El Narifana Lanu. Restore our strength of body, restore our strength of body. Help clarify our minds, help clarify our minds. Refresh our tired spirits, refresh our tired spirits. Rejuvenate our light, rejuvenate. El Narifana Lanu. El Narifana Lanu. Thank you for all these blessings. Thank you for all these blessings throughout our days and night. We celebrate the journey, this precious gift of life. El Narifana Lanu. El Narifana Lanu. El Narifana Lanu. El Narifana Lanu.
Well, Shabbat Shalom. I want to make an announcement that will. I want to get the word out to keep this in mind. On Thursday, December the 4th at 7 p.m., we're going to be zooming in a professor from Indiana University named Gunther. it's an unusual name, Yickeli. It's a German name. And he's going to be speaking about anti-Semitism in the United States, and his topic is going to be navigating the landscape of anti-Semitism post-October 7th. He comes highly recommended by a friend of mine out there at the University of Indiana. I'm sure it's going to be a really fine lecture. Fine in the sense it's going to be a good lecture, not fine in the sense that we need to hear about the growing anti-Semitism in America and around the world. So, 50 years ago yesterday, you would find, if you went to Germany or Austria or to the Sudetenland, you'd find German thugs, German hoods, German criminals running amok around the country, destroying synagogues, destroying Jewish businesses, arresting 30,000 Jewish men and killing 100 more in what has long become known as Kristallnacht. Maybe too poetic a term for that really disastrous day and a half, 2 days, because it gets the title from all of the broken glass that was to be found all over the country. Every synagogue in Germany but one or two, 296 synagogues, 5,000 Jewish businesses were destroyed. And I have a few words that I want to say a moment or two down the road as to how it came to that, how Germany came to that, where this could happen, But just a little bit of history. The pretext for Kristallnacht was that a 17-year-old Polish Jew by the name of Herschel Grinspan, who'd been living in France for several years, learned that the Nazis had exiled his parents, along with lots of other Jews, to Poland from Hanover, Germany, where he was born and his family had lived for years. As a retaliation, on November 7th, 1938, this kid shot Ernst von Rath, a German diplomat living in Paris. And the Nazis used that as a pretext to initiate in violence what they had been practicing by law, if you call it law, up until that time. From the time Hitler came to power in 1933 until Kristallnacht in November of 1938, there had been the Nuremberg laws and all kinds of other limitations imposed on Jews in Germany. But at that point, only on Germany. The Holocaust only spread as World War II continued. But how did it get that way? Certainly there are books and books and books written on the development of Nazism, the development of Nazi hate, and the willingness of so many German Jews to join in with the Nazi Party, to join in with the Nazi program, to join the Nazi army, and to set about trying to conquer Europe, and succeeding in killing 6 million Jews and 6 million others. Well, how did it start? First of all, and now I'm not going to give you a long analysis of European anti-Semitism, but it started by virtue of the fact that there had already existed under the surface in European life a set of stereotypes and a basic orientation, inclination to hate the Jews, based on ridiculous stereotypes that had begun to be instituted long before the Middle Ages, but which found some important instantiations in the Middle Ages. The idea that the Jews served the devil. Have you ever heard of anybody tell you that a Jewish person tell you that a Gentile came up to them and asked them where their horns were stored? Where there persists in the hills of America the notion that Jews are born with horns and they're surgically removed at birth. So Jews are the agents of the devil. Jews poisoned the wells during the Black Death. Jews kidnapped Gentile boys around Pesach and killed them for their blood for matzah. Lots and lots of other things. Along with that came the idea that Jews, this is more of a sort of late 18th and into the 19th century idea, that Jews controlled everything, right? The Jews controlled the banks. The Jews controlled the Communist Party. The Jews initiated the Russian Revolution. The Jews initiated World War I. The Jews initiated all the things that befell Germany after the defeat of World War I. and on and on and on. In the 19th century, as I'm sure you know, there was a pamphlet written. It wasn't actually written. It was copied from something that had been written, I believe, in Germany, but it doesn't matter. It was the original pamphlet was a satire, but some smart Russians took it and talked about a meeting, a secret meeting of Jewish leaders who were planning to overtake the world. And the book is called, as you know, The Protocols of the Elders of Zion, which is still in print. It's a bestseller in the Arab world. And so the Jews have lived under this set of curses that people believe. People believe that they're responsible for these things. I mean, not that long ago in America, there was a supposedly scholarly book written that attempted to prove that the Jews control American foreign policy. The Arabs believe that the Iraq War, a lot of people believe that the Iraq War was held at the behest of the Jews. And so these things kind of festered. And there were a lot of other things, of course. The Germans didn't do well in World War I. The economy wasn't doing well after World War I. And then along comes this short little guy with a funny mustache and slick down hair who in other places and other times would have just been cast aside. But the time was right, and he was charismatic, and he was charismatic, and he was a great orator. And he went around telling people, among other things, that the Jews are responsible for our current condition. The Jews made us lose the war, and one thing built to another. And the oddest thing possible, though there are books and books in analyzing how this happened, from 1918, the end of World War I, to 1933, the time that Hitler became chancellor, in a matter of just relatively short amount of time, this really kind of stupid guy, I give him credit for being intelligent. He wasn't all that bright. If you ever looked at Mein Kampf, you'll see it's not all that not all that well written. And I know a good book. I'm a man who knows a good book, whether it's written by my friend or my enemy. Is Chancellor of Germany. And his arisal, and the thing that one needs to remember always, is that Nazism is inseparable from anti-Semitism. That's what made Nazi fascism different from Italian fascism, from Japanese fascism, was this obsession, this total obsession with the belief in the vile nature, conspiratorial nature, the power of the Jews, which of course they didn't possess. And so from 1938 there was a small window of opportunity from 33 to 38 and a little bit beyond, where Jews who had some connections went to England, a few came to the United States, as many as could came to Israel, so that in fact by the time the Holocaust began in earnest and the doors were shut for German Jews, about half German Jews managed to get out. So that's bad enough to talk about Kristallnacht. But what's on my mind tonight is not just that people stood up and said all these vile things about the Jews, but today people are standing up and saying vile things about the Jews. Perhaps you heard on the door of the Hillel this week, somebody spray painted "Free Palestine." Now, you say "Free Palestine" on the Hillel door, it's not really a specific political statement. It's really saying you Jews are responsible for this terrible mess in the Gaza Strip and in the Middle East, and you got to go out. We want from the the expression's not coming to my mind, from the river to the sea, I'm sorry. From the river to the sea, free Palestine, get rid of the Jews, let the Jews go somewhere else. People are standing up and saying, well, October the 7th, people are saying, and you're hearing this, what happened on October 7th was a fake. It didn't really happen. Or it didn't happen as bad as people said it happened. This is like Holocaust denial. And in any event, people forget about October 7th. Now people are saying in campuses, meetings around the country, around the world, well, the Jews deserve this. The Jews deserve to have 1,500 people killed, deserve to have 240 people taken into captivity. And what people are worrying about, including me, is that these kinds of accusations and more are not going to go away when this war is over. and that they might continue to swell. Now, I'm not suggesting that we're looking in the face of another Holocaust. I think there are too many safeguards for that to happen. But I do think we might well be looking into a significant rise of anti-Semitism. We've already seen it, a continued significant rise in anti-Semitism, and people standing up in houses, in legislatures, and on the street, and on campuses, and in classrooms, in churches, and making all kinds of irrational accusations about the Jews that somehow, because of what's out on the air, what's on social media, what people are reading in the newspapers, they believe that it's true. So that's the terrible side of what's happening. It's the really terrible side of what's happening, and that's what we have to be vigilant about. And I say, Baruch Hashem, that this church that's coming to join with us next week is coming to us based on a call I received from the pastor about a month ago, wishing to support us in our time of need. Now, I have to give it, and it's going to be a really nice service, but the notion is that these folks are going to come and join us to support us. Maybe in a way, I think almost certainly in a way, unlike the Jews in Germany, the Jews in Poland, the Jews in Ukraine, we have too much support in this country and too many legal safeguards to think we're headed toward some kind of murder. But we may be headed toward us being seen by too many people as not fully human, as secondary citizens, although I doubt there'll be any laws passed to that effect. They're coming next week to be supportive of us, just by worshiping with us. I don't know what the pastor is going to say. He's giving the sermon. But just by being in support of us. So that's definitely the downside of what's happening right now. And there are two partners to what's happening as a result. First of all, there's a reaction, which I'm sure you've heard about. Places where anti-Semitism on campus is allowed to happen, allowed to persist. Donors, Jewish donors who have given lots and lots of money to those campuses are calling up the development offices in those universities and saying, I'm not giving you another penny. And that's happening in a lot of places. Jews, at the moment, in any event, around the country and perhaps around the world, are sitting back and maybe reevaluating their status, not their status, but their position, their commitment to this society to which we, as of October the 6th, swore our fealty up and down. We swore to the value of public schools, for instance. We swore to the value of the democratic system of which we are a part. And I'm not suggesting we pull back from democracy, by the way. But it may well be that we're having to reconsider the way we think of ourselves as Americans and as Jews. And we'll see what happens down the road once this war ends. It will end. Whether it's going to be as victorious as the Israelis would like, and I think as a lot of people would like, that remains to be seen. But the war will come to an end. And we'll see what the position of Jews in this society are subsequently down the road, 2 months, 3 months, 3 years from now. The other part of this, and I would say, if there's any lemonade to be made from this, and there's not a whole lot to be made, is that Jews, whenever they're in need, whenever there's a need, are gathering together in unity in a number of ways. Next Tuesday in Washington, D.C., there's going to be a rally sponsored by so many different organizations within the Jewish community. And I will wager, based on past experience, that there'll be 500,000 people there. I made an attempt to go without taking too much time away from you folks. And the plane schedules were a little too onerous, and the airfare was a little too high, so I'll be here next week. But my heart, and I hope your hearts, are all going to be in Washington 2 p.m. Eastern time next week. The upside of all of this is that we're going to come away in a way as we did in 1967 in the victory of the Six-Day War. But this is a negative issue that we're facing. We're going to come away from this a stronger people in this country, in the diaspora, stronger among ourselves and stronger in our unity with the people of Israel. And for that, we'll see how that goes also. But I'm going to conclude by reading what I read during the service. This is a quote by Jonathan Sacks. To be a Jew is to be part of the most remarkable story ever lived by any people, covering more countries, more adverse circumstances, more triumphs and tragedies than any other people's story. Every one of us has a chapter to write in that story, and a hand to write that book to pass on. That is what it is to be a Jew. And there may be times in a recent history that we kind of forget what it means to be a Jew. We tend to maybe let our commitment to the Jewish people fade a little bit. Our commitment to the God of the Jewish people fade a little bit. But I think we'll find ourselves moving in a different direction down the road. Shabbat Shalom. Next Tuesday, 2 p.m. Yeah. Aleinu, I need my ark openers for the Aleinu back.
No, we have a song after the sermon.
I beg your pardon.
Yeah, we're doing a song after the sermon.
Please be seated. My bad. Go right ahead.
This is in the book. It's on page 642 in the big book and 338 in the small one. It's really only 2 lines. Am Yisrael Chai, which means the people of Israel lives, and Od Avinu Chai, our God yet lives. And so this is going to be, we don't have enough people to make it a drum circle, so mathematically 2 points describe a line. So this is a drum line of Adam and Jory playing the djembe and the bongos, and we're going to do this song. And some of you know this, so you should sing along. Am Yisrael Chai, and Od Avinu Chai. All right. Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Oh, de Avinu Chai. Oh, de Avinu Chai. Oh, de Avinu Chai. Oh, de Avinu Chai. Sing along. Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Oh, de Avinu Chai. Oh, de Avinu Chai. Oh, de Avinu Chai. Oh, de Avinu Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Woohoo! Nice. Good drum line.
That song was written by Noam Katz, who was a Reform rabbi, went to school here in Los Angeles, actually. And one of the things he did while he was in school, or before he went to school, I knew him when he was still a student, was he went to Africa. I forget which country in Africa he went to. But if you think back on that melody, it has a kind of an African vibe to it. He brought back those kinds of melodies and rhythms with him. Now, Aleinu, please come forward and open the ark. Please rise. Back cover of the Siddur.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד ארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובהי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת, אין עוד, ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. We are observing the Yortzeiten of Henry Artigue, Bob Fry, Eva Cruz, David Elkin, Alan Falk, Gordon Geller, Eric Luxman, Walter Grau, Rosalind Melman, Gregory Perkins, Dick Richards, Victoria Richards, Larry Kravitz, Rose Rogers, Mazel Tov Serfadeh, Fanny Fenster, Howard Gilbert, Louis Margolin, Morris Lieb Resnick. Zichronam Livracha. May their memories all be for a blessing. We are on page 598. Please rise. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah v'yalmad yivarach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chay yedechal beit Yisrael ba'agala u'vizman koriv v'yimeru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivorach liolam u'lamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpo'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yit hadar v'yit aleh v'yit halal shemei dekudasha b'richu le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tush birchata v'nechemata da'amiran v'alma v'yimeru. Amen. Yehei shalom marab amin shamaya v'chayim Aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimeru. Amen. Oseh shalom v'yimeromav hu ya'aseh shalom Aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yal kol Yoshvei Tevel v'yimeru. Amen. Please be seated. Announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. So, please join Rabbi Cohen tomorrow, Saturday, November 11th at 10 a.m. on Zoom for Torah study and learn about the life of Sarah. There was an email that came out just today or yesterday, so check your email for that link. That's tomorrow at 10 a.m. And the adult Bar Mitzvah class will continue on Wednesday, November 15th at 7 p.m. on Zoom. That link is in the weekly email. And just to echo what Rabbi Cohen said about next Friday, November 17th, we've got that special Shabbat services. The Quinn AME Church are coming, and they're going to sing with their choir, so we hope that you'll all come out for that. There's going to be a special oneg, and Susan Tenenbaum has contacted a few people about if they can help out by sharing some of their delicious treats for the oneg. So hoping that you'll come out, if not for the amazing music, for the amazing oneg. And then, right around the corner, Hanukkah. So save the date for our Bring Your Own Menorah service, which is amazing. Everyone just brings their menorahs. We light everything up, and it looks fantastic. And it's only the second night of Hanukkah, December 8th at 6:30. So the more, the merrier. We'll make our shul here just really glow with the warmth of the candles. And of course, family and friends are welcome for that. And naturally, there's another good oneg after that one too. And speaking of onegs, tonight's oneg is sponsored by Rabbi Phil Cohen and Betsy Gamberg.
Yes, Carolee.
Oh yes. Anybody else? Oh, hello, Carolee. Yes, would you like to come up, or shall I come down with thee? Well, they can't hear you on Zoom.
Oh, they can't hear me on Zoom. Okay, thanks. As I said last week, also for Hanukkah, the youth group, the whole youth group now, we get money. We give, instead of getting gifts for each other, we give the money to get things for charity. We have, I guess we're going to do 4 charities this year. And we're looking for anybody else who wishes to contribute to giving money to Lori and Shira, taking it to the streets. That's homeless people with dogs or cats, I guess. Pets, any kind of pet, I guess, yes. Jaden, boxes that are, we make boxes for kids who are in the hospital. We also help kids who are homeless or almost homeless. And this year we're going to see if we can get a children's charity in Israel to give money to kids in Israel. So we have 4 charities. If you would like to contribute, we would be most appreciative.
Thank you, Carolee. And oh, Jason's back there. He's got something to say.
First of all, I hope she can hear me. All the onegs are special, Wendy. Not just the other ones, but all of them are great. In the spirit of some of the other announcements and Rabbi's talk, for those who are not on the mailing list from Rabbi Michael Lotker, who has come and spoken here on many occasions over the years and has also done classes that a lot of our congregants have seen on Zoom, he is doing a talk that he often does to interfaith audiences called Anti-Semitism, Why the Jews? And that's going to be on Zoom on Tuesday the 21st at 7 p.m. If you're not on his mailing list and have any interest in seeing it, just let me know, come up to me at the oneg, and I can forward the email to you. And just, he does sort of preface it by saying he usually gives this talk to non-Jews, but he thinks in this time there may be a lot of people who want to hear more of the history. And he's a wonderful speaker and presenter, and those of you who've had a chance to hear him teach before will not be disappointed. So,
thank you for sharing that. Anybody else? Announcements? All righty then. Shabbat Shalom.
I actually have an announcement, but before the announcement, it's related. I want to preface it with something, which is to say, I want to mention. I'm sorry, I know Betsy and Wendy are in the other room getting the oneg ready. I want to mention a guy in my past named Harry Gross in my Philadelphia days, and Harry Gross at Beth Am, Old York Road, Temple Beth Am in Abington, Pennsylvania, would be the greeter at the doorway as you came into the service. And he would chat you up, and he would shake your hand, and if you didn't have a prayer book, he'd hand you a prayer book, and you'd walk into the sanctuary feeling just so darn good. Well, we have our own version of Harry Gross here, and we saw him in action tonight. So I want to thank you very much for your work. But also, that's a preface to November 24th, when I'm going to be in Indiana, and we're going to have a special rabbi on the bima that night, and along with our regular singers. Steve, would you stand up, please? All right. And Reb Ron Herman, he greets you and he leads you, and he deserves the title Reb. I'm glad he's a friend of mine. I'm glad he's going to take the place. Although I will say, I'm going to be on the Zoom that night, and I'll give the Devar Torah, but he's going to be the lead. So we conclude with Adon Olam, page 625.
You should stand for this one, because this is the one that you always dance and do at the end of the holidays. Adon Olam asher malach beterem kol yitzir nivra lehet nasa bechefso kol azai melech shemo nikra ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה בתפארה והוא היה והוא הווה בתפארה אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה בתפארה והוא היה והוא הווה בתפארה
Stay put. If you would stay put for just a second, please stay as you are. Stay as you are. Please stay as you are. Please stay as you are. Put your arms around each other. Continue that nice warm moment. Christina, come here, please. If you would, just take a breath. Shh, shh, shh. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmarecha. Ya'er Adonai panav ve'elecha v'yichuneka. Yisa Adonai panav ve'elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God bless us and care for us. May God send down a light to us with kindness and with grace, with wisdom, with safety, with happiness, with joy. May God lead us from this sanctuary into a world where we understand a little better who we are as a people, even if it doesn't make us entirely happy about it. But we know that we can always be strong and united as one worldwide Jewish people, diaspora and Israel together, and together we say, Amen. Motzi, Kiddush and Motzi, and then we can go have a snack.
Okay.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodesho v'ahava u'ratzon chinkilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom tehila b'mikra'e kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim ki banu v'acharta v'yotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim b'shabbat kodshecha v'ahava uvratzon hinkavtanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Amen.
Right.
One last step, but let me conclude by thanking the music tonight, the music people tonight. They were in particularly good form. Now, before we say Hamotzi, if you are out there in the congregation and you have elected to join the Jewish people within the last month, could you join us up here, please? Oh, we're supposed to unwrap that. No. Oh, you did? Okay, no. It's supposed to. Susan's not here today. She's usually unwraps.
We just have to all be touching.
Finger, touch the bread. Now you're official.
All right. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Shabbat shalom. Amen. Shabbat shalom. B'tei avon. Very much.
Of course.
Good
Good
job
job.
tonight.